Welcome back to Drop the Box. Today we're going to be doing rear pads on this 2017 Audi Q5. Locate the brake fluid reservoir, which is under this cover here. Extract some of the fluid from the reservoir. We're going to do this for two reasons. One, because we're going to be replacing the brake fluid anyway. And two, when we push the pistons back, this will push the fluid from the calipers back to the reservoir, and that can overflow, which will cause a bit of a mess. What you need to do is connect the battery maintainer to your vehicle. Failure to do this could give you problems when you're winding back or resetting the brake calipers. Connect your scan tool to your vehicle and turn the ignition on. Before we start the procedure, we need to make sure that there's no stored fault codes in the ABS module. So open your VCDS program and click on Select Control Module and then select ABS. Once that loads, click on Fault Codes and make sure that there's no fault codes displayed as shown. Then you can come out of that, go back, right to the home screen. Now we can start with the procedure. So the first thing you need to do is release the parking brake. Now go to Select Control Module. 03 for ABS and brakes. Basic settings. And now you're going to want to select Start Line In Change Mode from the drop-down menus. And click Go. Now that this process is finished, the park brake motor has now been fully wound back into its home position, and you can now push the piston back as you would in a normal caliper. Grab a pry bar and slowly push the piston back. Until it's all the way in the home position. Disconnect the pad wear sensor by pulling on that clip there. And then on the multi-plug, which is here, you need to turn it 90 degrees and then it'll lift out of its holder. And then the plug, you just press down on that tab there and it'll disconnect. To connect the caliper is a bolt on the top and a bolt on the bottom. You need a 13mm socket and a 17mm spanner. 17mm spanner holds the nut in place. Once these bolts are out, you can remove the caliper. And just rest it behind the hub. Remove the brake pads. Before you fit the new brake pads, what you need to do is just check everything is free and moving on the carrier. So make sure these sliders are moving freely and the dust covers are intact. That's up on the top one and the bottom one. Then, where the brake pad sits in these channels, you need to clean these channels as best as you can to get rid of all the old brake dust and carbon before fitting the new pads. Now that the carrier is clean, you can fit your new brake pads. As you can see, I've put a little bit of anti-seize grease on either end of the brake pad where it's going to slide back and forth in the caliper. Grab your new wear indicator and fit that to the pad that goes onto the back, and that just simply presses in. Now that both brake pads are fitted, we can refit the caliper. So first thread the wear sensor through the caliper. And carefully position it into place. Fit the two new caliper bolts and torque these to 35 Newton meters. Reconnect the pad wear sensor. Now that the new pads have been fitted, you need to jump back in the car and pump that foot pedal. Then you need to bleed the brakes. Now I'm not going to show you how to do that because there's already a video on how to bleed your brakes on the channel, but I will put a link in the description for you to follow that. And then lastly, we need to reset the parking brake on the electronic caliper. So we need to plug our scan tool back in and reset it. So again, you're going to want to go to select control module, 03 for ABS and brakes, then go to basic settings, and from the drop down menu, you're going to want to select end lining change mode. And then click go. Now that the process is finished, come out of the VCDS program and manually operate your park brake to make sure everything is okay. So once you've finished bleeding your brakes and you've put the wheels back on, the last two checks you need to do is check and top up your brake fluid, torque your wheels, and pump that foot pedal one more time. Well, that's it. I hope you found the video helpful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And if there's anything you want to see in the future, please leave a little comment and I'm sure we can do something for you. Please stay tuned. There's plenty more content coming up and we'll see you again. Thanks.